Hey crafty friends, we are going to make this fun FirePit card from Honeybee Stamp's new Sawdust and Saddles release. Okay, so this is the Lovely Layers FirePit. I have die cut everything from a white cardstock, and I will be doing some ink blending. I'm starting with antique linen for our FirePit, and I love this die so much. We have a FirePit like this at home that we've had for years in our backyard, and I love it. So this is such a cute set. It comes with s'mores and marshmallows and roasting sticks and super cute die. So we're going to create like this nighttime scene with our FirePit and some marshmallows and s'mores. Now I'm going to be using gathered twigs to go over my FirePit. I wanted to have some dimension between with the colors, because this is also an embossed image from the dies. So if I go over lightly with this darker color, you're going to see that lighter color from the embossed areas come through. And so it just gives it a little more interest to the images and a little bit more depth. Then we have our little roasting sticks, our little sticks for roasting our marshmallows. And this is walnut stain. I'm also doing the firewood that we're going to be layering together. This is going to be obviously inside of our FirePit. We have marshmallows, s'mores, we have our fire. That little end piece goes to the end of one of the pieces of wood. And I just love all of the little details with this. So let me scooch these out of the way. There's three big pieces to the fire plus some little pieces. Then for your s'mores, you have your 2 pieces, your graham crackers, and then you have your marshmallow and your chocolate piece. I left out the chocolate piece for some reason, but I'll get to that in a minute. I'm going to ink blend lightly with antique linen for the graham crackers themselves, and the top layer has all of the little holes, you know, like you have the holes in the graham crackers. It has that detail, so it's so realistic. I love it. So the top and the bottoms of the s'mores, which are the graham crackers, are antique linen. I'm just going to leave the marshmallow pieces white. And then we have our marshmallows that we're going to be roasting, and I'm roasting them for what me and my husband like. So I like mine charred and burnt. And so I am going to use ground espresso for my marshmallow here, and my husband likes to slow roast his. It gets this nice little golden brown. It's very ooey gooey, but I really love the burnt marshmallows. So let me know in the comments below how you guys like your marshmallows, like extra crispy or just lightly toasted. Then I'm using Crackling Campfire for our biggest piece of our fire here. Then I will use carved pumpkin and, oh gosh, what's the other? Scattered straw. Now, when I put this together, these little pieces right here are like the little pieces of the little flames that come off of the fire. I did those with the Crackling Campfire. Then I'm going to add a little bit of that Crackling Campfire to the carved pumpkin one, and then the scattered straw on the smallest one, and I will add a little bit of the carved pumpkin to that. Now, when I put this together, we actually end up not seeing the yellow part of the flame, and maybe it's how I put it together. You could actually probably put the flames up much higher, and then you would be able to see that. For the background, I am starting at the bottom with black soot. This is a nighttime scene, keeping it super duper simple because to me it's really all about this fire pit. It's so cute. And then I'm going to use Uncharted Mariner and Chipped Sapphire. So this is Uncharted Mariner. Chipped Sapphire will go at the top, and then we'll bring in a little bit more of that black soot. I am using foam blender tools. I personally like this for getting a really good saturated color with blending. I love blending brushes. I think they're fantastic for stencils and things like that. But for me, with a background, I love the look that I get when I'm ink blending with foam tools. I just think they work out really, really nice. Let's add a little bit of that black soot to the outside edges. And this is a 5 or an A2 size card measuring 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Okay, so we have that background done. I think we have all of our pieces except for our chocolate, which we'll get to in a minute. Let's glue together our fire pit and all of our pieces, and then we're going to do a little something extra to that background. So let's layer these. Of course, this is the Lovely Layers die. And then I am going to say ahead of time, I don't show stamping or die cutting the sentiment. I use the Howdy Y'all stamp set. I was running out of space on my card when I was filming, which really doesn't ever happen. And I couldn't delete anything yet because I had a lot of projects on there. So, but I did stamp that in my Misty with intense black ink from Honeybee, and I used the coordinating die to die cut that out. Okay, for the night sky, I squirted a little bit of water from my Distress sprayer onto the background because we're using Distress Oxide inks, and so it's water reactive. Now, you know the little shiny bits of stuff coming off of the fire? I'm using the Shimmery, and I'm splattering that right up the center. Not over the whole background, right up the center where it's going to be going above the flames once we put this card together. So it's just a little something extra that shows that that fire is going and it's sparkly and sending, you know, those little light things into the sky. I am adding 1mm foam adhesive behind my fire pit here, and I'm going to put this down here at the bottom. And then we can put together our pieces here. So this is our fire. Like I said, we're not even going to see the yellow. I really should have put it up higher, and I'm really not sure what I was thinking, but it still looks cute. It's so certainly not the end of the world. So I started with it lower because I didn't obviously have the firewood ready yet. Having it that low, you don't see really any of the flames once you put the firewood on. So here are those little flame pieces. I'm going to put those all around. Super cute. Isn't it so cute? I just love it. I love a good fire. I love a good fire pit. I was asking my son, and he told me add a little bit of dark area at the bottom so it looks like your fire pit is glowing. So I did. I took the blending brush, and I think I had the oh my gosh, ground espresso on it. So it was nice and dark. So I just added that shading down there at the bottom of the fire pit. And now it looks like inside the fire pit's a little bit lighter. So we're putting together our darling firewood, but you see when I lay it down, you just can't even see the fire. So I messed with this for a little bit. I was just scooting it up a little bit at a time and a little bit at a time, and I really needed to scoot it up. Still, it's just hiding. I was thinking about it, so let me pull that up more. And then we can put that in there. I love it, and I love how 3D this looks. It's so awesome. Okay, let's add our marshmallows to our sticks. We have our extra crispy and our nicely toasted. We have our s'mores that we're going to put together, and this is where I realized, oh yeah, I forgot to color the chocolate. So ground espresso, that's what I'm going to use because it's nice and dark. I don't know about you, but I like darker chocolate. I mean, I do love a good milk chocolate on a s'mores, but other than that, I'm kind of a dark chocolate gal. And then let's add our marshmallow again, just white cardstock. There was no need to color it. It's totally fine. And then I also die cut 2 extra sticks and 2 other marshmallows that we're just going to lay around here. Let's get our little pieces together. I'm going to have my marshmallow in the fire because I like it to catch on fire. And my husband's marshmallow is going to be there because it's all nicely toasted. Then we have 2 more marshmallows that are not toasty, and we'll glue down our 2 s'mores. Cute, cute. And then on the bottom right, I'm going to place those other 2 little sticks, and I did my sentiment. It says, "It's your birthday," and that's from Howdy Y'all, but remember I had to turn off my camera because I didn't have enough film. There's those little splatters from the Shimmery that looks like the fire is giving little lights off into the sky, and I just think it turned out so, so cute. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching, and I hope that you enjoyed this project.